How do we not get mixed up? It's not just mashy Tekken, it's just fast-paced decision making. The neutral is where you're supposed to beat them at. You're not allowed to be hesitant on your decisions.
Get ready for the next battle.
What is good, YouTube? I'm Tone. I'm back again with another YouTube video, and recently I uploaded a video on how to get better at this game. And in that video I talked about the neutral triangle and a little bit about that, and I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into that. And one of the most important things about this game is making sure that you're not guessing and making them guess. So how do we not get mixed up? And I'll try and explain the best I can on how I can avoid that. So in Tekken 8, obviously, there are situations where you're gonna have to hold a real mix-up and you're gonna have to guess for your life, for example, like after a heat smash or whatever. But a lot of the neutral is played around being the one in control of that 50-50 and being the one to do it to them rather than letting them do it to you. I feel like that's something that people don't really understand how to do until way later. And it comes alongside with thinking speed, decision-making speed, and then also knowing your options. How do we get started on this? Well, obviously, when somebody's trying to mix you up, the best thing that you can do is try to keep them out. Mix-ups are called mix-ups because they don't necessarily kill you in one shot, right? The things that kill you in this game are like launchers. And the reason why launchers hit so much are because you're trying to either mix somebody up or stop somebody from mixing you up. So that's kind of how neutral works, right? So let's say, for example, a Kazuya is wave dashing at you, right? And a lot of newer players are like, yo, why is he doing that? Why don't they just hit you in the face? Like, you're just wave dashing. And like, that's a genuine question. Like, why don't you just hit the Kazuya in the face, right? We're scared of the electric. But in this game, you're not allowed to be hesitant on your decisions. If you sit there and you're like, okay, like, but he might like kill me, you just gotta believe and die. Do your option, because this really helps enforcing your game plan and letting you get the knockdown, right? Even if you do like a down jab, even if you do like a 1-2-1 or like a jab, safe jab string, or just like hit him, it doesn't have to be a launcher. It stops his pressure and then your turn starts, right? And the concept of turns is like kind of weird and subjective, but basically you don't want to always be giving up control. To touch on control, so like control is basically whoever uses their tools more efficiently to set the pace of the game and to literally control what moves are being used by the other person. For example, Jin's 2-1 is like one of the best control moves in the game, and the reason why it's so annoying is because of the third hit, and you just kind of just gotta stand there, and this opens up all his other stuff, right? There's two parts to the neutral, right? Obviously the control part, which I just mentioned, and then the mix-up. The reason why people are so easy to beat in lower ranks feel like the game is just a casino game is because you're just letting it happen to you. The easiest person to fight in this game is someone that just gives up all the neutral and just tries to stay patient. Unless you're a god like me, like you guys watched him at Tiger Replica, which is why it was so impressive, was because people couldn't just do that to him. His defense is on another level. But we're not me, right? We need to be able to stop them from just feeling comfortable enough in just going in on us and going mid or low, right? This is a little story time thing. And this reigns back to Tekken 7. I had a tournament set at Combo Breaker, and at the time, I still kind of played the same turtley defensive style with Brian, and I had to fight a Heihachi player in bracket. I remember being up 2 rounds the final game against this guy, and he just started hell sweeping over and over and over again. Hell sweep is +8. Everyone knows that, right? Single hit. Anakin was watching me play, and I ended up just getting rolled over by just hell sweep. And I just stood there and I was like, huh, I don't even know what happened. I was dazed. I was blocking. I just didn't block enough low, I guess. And then Anakin saw that I was like a little bit upset, and he's like, hey bro, I saw you match right now. You know, you just gotta not let him mix you up. I'm like, what do you mean? And he said something that's like stuck with me for a very, very long time. And he said, if you just stand there, even if you give a toddler the controller, they can pick mid or low and make you guess. And I was like, oh, that shit changed everything. That shit changed everything I looked at. And basically what he means is that if you're gonna stand there and try to guess mid or low, both of them are unseeable, right? So you're just always gonna be guessing rock, paper, scissors. It's not like you're always gonna beat the child in rock, paper, scissors, right? So this kind of awakened something in me, and it helped me realize that, okay, I need to hit them before they do that shit. I mean, I kind of do that subconsciously, but I never thought of it like, okay, they're trying to mix me right now. Let me land a 3+4 right now before they do it. And I still think that my skill of guessing 50-50 and being correct most of the time is still not better. I can't just be better at guessing correct for the lottery, right? The thing that I've improved since then was being active and not letting them mix me up. Obviously, there's times where you're going to get counter hit. There's times where you're going to get interrupted, and they were like looking to snipe that 3+4 from Brian, or like, you know, call out your mash. But it's okay to be wrong. You gotta be able to die for the things that you like are trying to make a read for, right? Because like I said, right, if you're just scared and sitting in the corner and you don't want to make a single mistake, you're not gonna make a single good play either. In the last video, I remember saying that the people that have habits, they usually die for doing the things that they win with. And this is the same case. Is there a character with the best mix-up, or is it on the player that's controlling the character? There's definitely better characters for better mix-ups, right? For example, Reina is one of the best because of like the stances. You have Eddie, who has some of the most annoying constant neutral skips, right? Because he has forward 3 that can hit you from range 3, and you can mix up that low, and once that low hits, you can go low or mid, right? Who else is really strong? Obviously Kazuya, Lydia. There's a lot of casino characters in this game, and it's like balanced by not having as much control. How about versus Steve or strong counter hit characters where the mix is me trying to stop their offense, but they know that? The reason why I'm so good against Steve in this game, or in general, is because he doesn't have scary mix-ups. Steve is scarier when he's back one-ing you, and scarier when he's doing sways on you, right? He's more so stopping, he's the perfect character to stop mix-ups with over here and the back one and sway. The reason why people hate fighting him so much is because the control that they have is like gone. Kind of similar to Yoshi in a sense, right? And that's why Yoshi is so strong in this game, because all that control and the mix-ups become a deeper mind game because you have to worry about flash and spin. You talked about reaction speed earlier. How can one brush up on that? So it's not necessarily reaction speed, it's decision making speed. I think a lot of getting better or improving at decision making speed is being okay with being wrong and just moving on to the next thing. Just like, okay, I'm just gonna jab here, it didn't work, and you mentally store it, and then, you know, playing faster speed decisions and not mashing. In this game, it's like, hurry the fuck up, make a decision, otherwise you will get mixed, right? And which is why I brought up this topic. You have to be really quick on the next decision. Remember the last one and put in like calculations in your head, and you're like, okay, well, should I do this? Should I do this? Is this play worth doing? And just constantly make calculated, smart decisions, but you don't have to play like an idiot. And I stress that a lot. You do not have to play like an idiot. It's not just mashy Tekken, it's just fast-paced decision making. How do you mash versus these +11 mixes? You're thinking about it on hit, and the problem with that is that the neutral is where you're supposed to beat them at. Not just where the mix-up happens, but before it happens. For example, if you just, like, you play Victor, right? So let me put it in Victor example. If someone's just standing there and letting you do running 2 EI, then you're just having a field day, right? But when you're running 2ing, aren't you scared of the person that would hit you before it? Like a Brian QC back 1 or a Brian 3+4, right? So the way you handle the mix-ups are beating them to the punch and keeping them out. And then that in turn lets you initiate your mix-ups on them and the tide's turn. What are some good tools to stop the opponents from mixing me in neutral and control their offense? Jabs. Jabs are really good. Fast pokes. Jabs are the main thing. Just like small Tekken. I don't want to say like small Tekken, big Tekken, whatever. But like small Tekken is basically fast pokes and fast moves and low minus. So if you use those, it really helps control them from mixing you up. Like Nina, yeah. So the problem with Nina is that she's controlling you so much, man. Her small Tekken is the control of this game, similar to Kazumi. And the mix-up is not necessarily mid or low, because they don't just run wipe the floor all day. They just run, can you take your turn or not, all the time. And that's another form of mix-up and you can still hit her before she gets it down for her going in. I believe that's enough. I hope you guys like this video. I will touch more on this topic if you guys want in the comments. Make sure to like it and subscribe. I don't want to make it too long for you guys. You guys all have ADHD, so appreciate you guys, and check out the stream. Peace.